So we will look at how the two most important luminaries, the very important Karakas, and the only two planets which also get eclipsed by Rahu and Ketu, when they get placed from each other in different houses, what are the probabilities, what are the manifestations they bring in. Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel, Astro Assurance. We have done many series of planets in different houses, planets in different signs, and then house lords in different houses as well, house lords in different signs as well. But one area which is very important and which needs or begs to be looked into deeply is that when planets are placed in certain houses from each other, what are the results that they can bring about? This is because planets not only rule certain natural houses. For example, moon is the natural ruler of the 4th house. So in any ascendant, the 4th house will have some energies of the moon and vice versa. Similarly, moon is also the Karaka of mother or assets or the happiness and the peace. On the other hand, sun, for example, is the Karaka of father. It is the Karaka of your self-respect, your dignity, your ability to shine in the environment, in the society, and also the Karaka of responsibility and accountability. So it is very important that when we see placements of planets from each other, we also deeply look into how, when planets are placed from each other in different houses, what are the manifestations they bring in, what are the probabilities they bring in, and what are the different kinds of possibilities they bring us to us in our life. So today we will talk about sun placed in different houses from the moon, which obviously means moon placed in different houses from the sun also. So we will look at how the two most important luminaries, the very important Karakas, and the only two planets which also get eclipsed by Rahu and Ketu, when they get placed from each other in different houses, what are the probabilities, what are the manifestations they bring in. When moon and the sun are placed in the same house or first house from each other or one house from each other, which means placed in the same house, which means that the two most important luminaries and the natural rulers of the 4th and the 5th house are together. This is a very strong Raj Yoga, especially if they get into any friendly signs, for example such as Aries, Cancer, Leo, Sagittarius, even Pisces. These two luminaries together in a very strong conjunction, a Raj Yoga conjunction, can bring about great results. Only thing is, there should be no blemish of either Rahu or Ketu or other malefics involved. So if sun and moon are left to themselves, this can be a very, very potent Raj Yoga. So what does sun bring in when sun is in conjunction with the moon in the same house? I have anyways done a separate series on the conjunctions as well, so you may as well want to look into that series as well, conjunctions of different planets. But right now, because we are in this particular series of sun placed in different houses from the moon and vice versa, so let's also elaborate on the conjunction or place together or placement together of the sun and the moon. So yeah, because they are together, sun adds to the ability of the person to be able to also bring in an emotional aspect, an empathy aspect, and also a nourishment aspect to the responsible nature of the sun, to the accountable nature of the sun, to be able to take leadership with empathy, with understanding, with responsibility. So such a person will be somebody who will want to take responsibility, doesn't shy of taking accountability, but is also very sharing leader, very caring leader, very nourishing leader. A leader who will also, when needed, will crack the whip, but also take care of his or other team members. Here, by a virtue of leader, we are not talking about a leader in an organization, which may be the case, but we are also talking about leader in any situation. If you are in a friends group, then you will be the first person to step in and to take responsibility for others, to take care of others, to show sympathy for others. If you are in a family, whether you're eldest or youngest in siblings, you will also feel strongly for your siblings, you will also feel strongly for others. If you are the head of the family or one of the members, father or mother, then you will also ensure that everybody else is taken care of, they are all good, and you don't mind standing up and taking care of others and taking responsibility and accountability for others. This can be a placement of somebody who does very well artistically, a musician, a singer, a dancer, and in some way connected to the arts. And if this person puts his head or mind to artistic endeavors, this can be a very successful combination for the person. Apart from that, somebody who is very, very innovative, very, very creative, and will not shy away from taking his or her ideas forward to be able to do extremely creative work and innovative work. And that is where moon and sun are placed one to each other or in conjunction or placed together. Now when sun goes in the second house from the moon, which means the person can gain from his or her ability to empathize with others, to understand people better, to be very creative and innovative. But at the same time being somebody who will take responsibility for what the moon stands for, because sun is in the second house from the moon. Mind you, we are not talking about second house from the Lagna, we are talking about second house from the moon. So your emotional aspect comes in very, very strongly. If the person has or does a work which is connected to the emotional component, then through from his or her ability to take responsibility, accountability, and to work with dignity, this person also can bring in a lot of earning to the group, earning to self, and also good remuneration, good livelihood. On the other hand, because moon goes 12 from the sun, if the person shows high-handedness or authoritativeness or dictatorial nature also, then the ability to care may go down, the ability to empathize of the moon may go down. So sometimes if the person is not careful, then whether in a team, whether in a family, or whether in an organization, or whether in a group, this person, because of the wanting to take more control, wanting others to listen to him, can discard or lose the empathy, the understanding, the nourishment of which the moon represents, because moon has gone into the 12th from the sun. So this is a tricky placement. As long as the person is able to balance between the two, be somebody who is very accountable, responsible, and through the accountability, responsibility, and the need to use their leadership skills to bring about more success to the person, more empathy oriented connections with others, and through that be able to get results, and at the same time being able to balance both the empathy and the responsibility, then a lot of gains can come to this person as long as the emotional aspect is kept in control. When the sun goes in the third house from the moon, which means the moon has gone 11 houses from the sun, so here the person will have to put in extra effort to be able to extract work from his or her ability to take leadership, to take accountability, to take responsibility for others, and at the same time will have to work hard to be able to make certain reputation in the society, reputation at work, even reputation in the family, and through the hard work, through the ability to be able to do more, even at the cost of self, only then will the person gain. However, this person can gain a lot because moon has gone 11 places from the sun. This person can gain a lot as long as the person is able to create strong connections on an emotional keel, because of his or her ability to be able to create an understanding environment, a synergistic environment, and through that ability to be able to take more responsibility, work very hard on the ability to take leadership, which sun represents. But with the empathy and the understanding of the moon, this person can do extremely good creative work, can really make a high name in the society as somebody who's very, very hardworking, but also a very, very strongly understanding person, empathy oriented person. So in social circles, in large organizations, while working for social causes, this person can do very, very well. This person can do very well on the social media if the person is very, very direct in his or her communication, takes responsibility, but at the same time is also able to bring in the empathy in their tone. So somebody who can shine bright on the social media, using the communication skills to do a lot of creative and innovative work, and through that to be able to make a lot of name and fame in society, in social circles, is this placement when sun goes into the third house from the moon. When sun goes into the fourth house from the moon, which means moon is 10 houses from the sun. So here, this is a very lucky position because sun and the moon are in Kendra to each other, which means sun being fourth from the moon, the person through his or her ability to showcase leadership, accountability, responsibility, and to be able to work with dignity, with high prestige, but not shying away from taking responsibility, this person can make a lot of gains. But the person will have to work hard and to push through, and will have to also take leadership at home in his domestic matters as well. Only then will the person will be held high at home, will also be given the respect, and through his ability to be able to showcase leadership, will also be able to make assets. So then this person will also get the support of the family, will get support of the others as well, but this person will have to work hard over a period of time, showcasing responsibility, accountability, leadership, which the sun represents, and not compromise on his or her dignity. Then over a period of time, because of this person's ability to nurture others, support others, nourish others, empathize with others at work, connected to career, then the person will do very well. So at work, this person will have to showcase both ability to take responsibility, ability to take projects, hold projects together, hold the team together, but being able to empathize, being able to support others, being able to nourish others first before self. And then over a period of time, this person, whether the designation is given to the person or not, but because of his or her ability to be able to put up their hands when responsibility comes, and then to deliver with empathy, with nourishment, with care for others, then the person over a period of time does extremely well, both in making assets and doing very well in your career. And that is the placement of sun, placed 4th house from the moon. When sun goes into the 5th house from the moon, because the 5th house is also the natural energies of the Leo sign. Here, mind you, we are not talking about from the Lagna, we are talking from the moon. Yet, when the sun goes 5th from the moon, the leadership quality of the 5th house, elements of the 5th house also come in. So, your sun is very, very strong, and moon has gone 9 places from the sun. So, the person will be very risk oriented. The person will also not hesitate to take more responsibilities also, and will go far and beyond. But for this person, how the person will use his or her educational ability, higher degrees, and also progresses on the same path towards taking higher qualification, higher learning, and learning through experiences. So sun takes accountability, sun takes responsibility, and moon adds to the experiences, but with a very strong attachment towards learning, and very empathy oriented attachment towards learning, towards getting high experience. Because only when your heart and mind, your soul is connected to the learning are you able to showcase the right leadership also, the right accountability also. This is a strong gain breaking position, because sun and moon are 5th and 9th houses from each other. Very, very strong Raj Yoga as well. So this person will be able to shine through his ability to use educational pursuits, higher learning, high experiences, but also risk taking ability. And this person may also need to sometimes travel away from the place that they are living in, or even travel on work every now and then. And only through the ability to use the education, the high learning, high experiences, and balancing between the leadership orientation on one hand and the emotional maturity on the other hand, this person will be able to bring a lot of gains to them and be able to showcase a empathetic leader, a caring leader, and a caring and successful executive as well. And that is the placement of sun when it goes 5 houses from the moon. Now when the sun goes 6 houses from the moon, now because the 6th house also has Virgo energies of competition, of hidden enemies working behind the back, and when sun goes into the 6th from the moon, so here it is about enemies to your emotional perspective, enemies to your emotional well-being, to your ability to be able to nourish others, to be able to establish strong connections with others, empathy oriented connections with others. But this also means that you sometimes get into some or the other trouble with authority figures or your team members, maybe on an emotional level, because sometimes you're not able to get emotionally well along with everybody. So there will be 1 or 2 people at work, maybe even in your domestic life, who will be regularly giving you these challenges. So what happens with this position when sun goes into the 6th from the moon is sometimes almost on a day-to-day basis, there will be one struggle that you do with somebody who you are kind of getting connected to on a day-to-day basis, or even with strangers. However, this also brings in a lot of discipline to the person. The person takes a lot of accountability, responsibility to the discipline in their life. If sun is weak, then the person can be extremely lackadaisical, very, very lazy also, and may procrastinate also. So emotionally, your mind may be attached to a work that you need to do this, you need to complete this, but at the same time, the ability to take responsibility may not be there enough. If sun is very, very in a very malefic placement, even in an inimical position, or it may be debilitated, this can also give you bad immunity, weak immunity, and long-term health may also suffer, the immune system may also suffer. So with this placement, it is important that you learn to take higher responsibility, serve with the intent of being a leader who will serve, a serving leader, and a servant leadership should be showcased. Then over a period of time, the emotional blockages, the emotional obstacles which the 8th placement of moon from the sun represent, they will also diminish. Otherwise, this could be a placement where your immune system on the one hand is very weak, on the other side emotionally you also run into challenges every now and then. You also get into issues with authority figures at your work, and because of that challenges, because of either challenges in your work or in your relationship, every now and then you also allow your health to fall to the wayside and your emotional health also to fall by the wayside. So this is a tricky placement, but a placement where serving over a period of time with responsibility, with accountability, with empathy, while taking care of your emotional health, will allow you to be able to work with more rigor and get success in your career, in your workplace, as a servant leader, as a serving leader. And that is the placement of sun when it goes 6 houses from the moon. Now when the sun goes 7 houses from the moon, or vice versa, so 7-7 placement means that sun and moon are aspecting each other, they are in Kendra to each other. This is an extremely strong and a powerful Raj Yoga, which means the emotional side on one hand is balanced with the strong dictatorial nature, controlling nature of the person also. If one overshadows the other, one is stronger than the other. For example, moon goes into Taurus while sun is in Scorpio, then moon will overshadow the ability of the sun to exert control. The empathy side will showcase themselves more or be able to demonstrate itself more. So this is a person who on one side will want to take responsibility, but with a responsibility towards others with a lot of empathy, caring, nourishing, lot of creative energy. On the other hand, sun takes the cake, which means sun is stronger. For example, sun goes into Aries on one side where it is exalted, moon goes into Libra where moon is not so very well or so strong as sun is in dignity. So yeah, the person will be able to showcase high accountability, high responsibility, but also high dictatorial or controlling nature, whereas moon will want to establish good connections, good leadership. So this can be a very good balanced position, strong Raj Yoga, where through creativity, through your empathy, through your ability to showcase accountability, responsibility, you can do very well. However, the signs will also play a very important role, and the dignity of the planet will showcase or will tell you who is taking the cake and who is going to run with the show, who is going to run away with the show. But eventually, whether the moon takes the cake here or sun takes the cake here, overall a very strong possibility given by the zodiac through very strong Raj Yoga to be able to get more leadership, higher gains, and be able to nourish others, and to be able to be very creative and innovative also. That is the placement of sun going 7 houses from the moon. Now when the sun goes 8 houses from the moon, which means your ability to showcase responsibility, accountability, and to be able to take higher leadership roles is getting into obstacles, challenges because of your emotional component. So if you allow your emotional side to overpower you, overpower your responsibility, overpower your ability to take accountability, then you will not be able to showcase that leadership which is required in a certain role on a day-to-day basis, which means you will have to ensure that your emotions are in control so that then sun can do its work, your leadership can come to the fore, your ability to take accountability can come to the fore. If you are able to manage this energy very well and sun goes into the 8th from the moon, this can be a very strong placement to do higher research, take higher responsibility, work with the government, and also to be able to serve those charities, those hospitals, those associations where emergency is the norm, where in emergency health services, caring services, animal services, or in any healthcare or emergency services kind of role, you can really excel as long as you are able to balance your emotional side, the maturity side, the empathy side with the responsibility and accountability of the sun. So overall a placement where if you are able to balance both of them, then you can really make more gains out of this placement through even earning out of other people's wealth, other people's assets as well. But on the other hand, if you allow the 6-shade relationship between the sun and the moon to affect you, then this could be a placement that you go through your life with a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, and you have to work double hard than others to be able to control both your emotional well-being as well as your responsibility, and through that being able to really gain over a period of time. That is the placement sun going into the 8th houses from the moon. When sun goes into the 9th house from the moon, this is a gift given by the zodiac to be able to excel. Why is this? The 9th house is the house of Jupiter, Sagittarius, but it is also the house of your gurus as well as father. So sun is extremely powerful in the 9th house from the moon. As long as you are able to be very creative and be very innovative in your work, this can be extremely good placement to do very high education, get high qualification, get the blessings of the gurus, get the blessings of the father, and these people will support and nourish you. If sun goes into an inimical sign, then there will be at least one guru who will really spoil the case for you, and you will have to really struggle at least to win the favor of that guru, or maybe even sometimes the father. If sun is in a very debilitated placement here, eclipse, then there may be distance from father also. The gains from the father may also be lacking. But if sun goes into a very strong, powerful position, then through your education qualification, blessings of the gurus, learning from the high experiences, and through that being able to shine and shine really very brightly, and then you are able to use both the empathy orientation, your ability to nourish, take care of others, and the creative and the innovative energy of the moon, asset building nature of the moon, with the responsibility and accountability of the sun. So you shine brightest when you are able to use your experiences, your education qualifications, and working with authority figures. If you are able to do this, one of the best placements of moon being placed 5 houses from the sun, whereas sun placed 9 houses from the moon. So if you have this placement, use it to the core. This can be one of the best gifts given to you by the zodiac, and that is the placement of sun 9 houses from the moon. Now when the sun goes 10 houses from the moon, which means moon is 4 houses from the sun, this is an extremely strong position. You can say, when does moon go into the 4 houses from the sun, when sun is 10 houses from the moon, this could also mean, for example, moon is in the 4th house where sun is in the lagna. Sun in the lagna gets exalted, and moon in the 4th house is in its natural placement, its natural position. So this is one of the best placements of sun when it goes 10 houses from the moon. This shows that you can work really hard in your workplace, in your career, and really shine, as long as you are able to establish good rapport with your seniors at work, with authority figures at work. So in your senior leadership, if you have good rapport with them, you are able to work with them, you are able to be on the right side of them, then this can be an excellent position to, over a period of time, both do very, very well in your career, rise in your career with the support of authority figures, with the support and the blessings of seniors at work, at the same time build huge assets. So using your power and influence, which at work, because of you doing very well, you're also able to build good assets. So you are able to build good property, you are able to have more money in the bank, more assets rather than liquid money. This is a good blessing given by the zodiac to build assets. So over a period of time, excelling at work, rising high, sometimes to the very top of the industry, to become an MD, the CEO, or some controlling position, because of which you have more power, authority, and influence at work, while doing a lot of creative work, and also being able to get the Bhula home, to be able to keep the family very, very happy, and also keep the workplace very, very happy and very, very nourishing, very gained. So one of the best placements for career, for work, and for authority position, and through that make assets. So a very materialistic, power, influence oriented placement is when the sun goes 10 houses from the moon. Now when the sun goes 11 places from the moon, which means moon is 3 places from the sun, which means in his emotional or her emotional nature, emotional well-being, the person has to work really hard, and that emotional well-being will be sometimes sacrificed at the altar of trying to take more power, trying to take more influence. So the person sometimes will shed his ability to empathize, to be able to connect with others on an emotional level, because the person is trying to showcase authority, trying to take control. And so this is the person who needs to struggle, or sometimes tends to struggle, because is not able to keep the balance between the emotional side on one side and the ability to take accountability, responsibility, and with the iron fist on the other hand. Somebody who can take responsibility and accountability with a lot of ease, effortlessly, but on an emotional keel has to work very hard. And usually these people work so hard in their career and give so much to their career, and they do well in their careers as well, but as on the emotional side, they find sometimes the amount of love, affection which they seem to be wanting to get from their loved ones or from their near and dear ones may not be coming. If the situation is happy at home, but in their workplace they may be able to do very well designation wise, role wise, but to get the support from the team, to get the acknowledgement and appreciation from the team may be lacking. So these people can really excel in social causes, working in large organizations, reaching to the top, but many times they may not be able to get the best emotional nourishment that they themselves need or to be able to provide. That is the placement of Sun going 11 houses from the Moon. Now when the Sun goes 12 houses from the Moon, this is a slightly tricky placement for the Sun, because then Moon has gone second house from the Sun. So here the ability given by the zodiac is that if you are ready to take accountability and responsibility and to be able to do more, where you also lose your leadership in the process of giving. Remember, Sun is 12 houses from the Moon. So here you lose your leadership, here you lose your power and influence, but you are able to or to take more responsibility and accountability. That's why it is said Sun goes into the 12th house to die. Now I'm not saying you will die because Sun is placed 12 houses from the Moon, but what it means is that you also need to be able to curb the dictatorial tendencies, to be able to do more well, to be able to earn better, because Moon is in the second house from the Sun. So as long as you are able to empower the Sun, take more responsibility even at the cost of your designation, power of influence, then you will be able to do much better, especially because Moon in the second house has the natural energies of Taurus, gets exalted. So here you can get a lot of emotional connect with your team, do very well, make assets, get good remuneration, get a good livelihood, get a lot of earning through your connects with the other people because of your ability to take responsibility. So here you may have to step in many times to be able to help the team members, to step in for them, to be able to even do their work almost as a servant leader, which means sacrificing your ability for showcasing power and influence, but using your empathy, your understanding, your emotional connect to be able to do well. So an extremely powerful position from an emotional standpoint, not so much for the power and influence through authority or a designation oriented placement. So as long as you're okay to be able to sacrifice a little bit of your power and influence but earn a lot through your emotional connect, this can be a very, very good placement. So use your emotional nourishment that you are able to do with others to be able to emotionally connect with others, and through that be able to get more moolah at home and keep the home environment happy and the team happy emotionally, even if you have to sacrifice a little bit on the power of influence front. And that is the placement of Sun going 12 houses from the Moon. So friends, now that we have talked about Sun being placed in the 12 houses from the Moon and what kind of manifestation and denotation it may bring in, check how far is your Sun placed from the Moon in your horoscope. See what doshas are involved, what signs both of them are placed, because signs will play a very, very important role in the overall tendency of whether the Sun is able to give better results or the Moon is able to give better results, and because of placement from each other in certain houses, what is the overall manifestation in the power equation between the Sun and the Moon. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the link given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.